Hello everyone. Welcome to Confessions Jury, where people put themselves on the spot, waiting for your judgment. Sit comfortably and listen carefully, as you're about to hear today's cases. You hold the hammer and you apply the law. Let us have your verdict down in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for breaking up with my girlfriend because of a caught cheating prank? I, 26M, broke up with my girlfriend, 25F, of 2 years because of something that happened recently, and now my friends are saying I massively overreacted. So, a few days ago, my girlfriend and a close mutual friend decided to play a prank on me. The prank was that they filmed a scenario where I caught them in bed together, pretending they were hooking up. They set up a hidden camera in the bedroom, and when I walked in, I saw him in just boxers and my girlfriend in a bra and panties, straddling him, acting like they were mid-hookup. To make it more realistic, they even made some noises and tried to act like it was happening for real. I was shocked, furious, and immediately confronted them as I thought it was real at first, like an actual betrayal, and then I walked out of the room and started leaving the house, when they followed me screaming it was just a prank and then showed me the video they'd been recording. To be honest, I felt completely betrayed not just by the idea of the prank, but also because of how they had gotten undressed to film it. I know it's meant to be funny to some people, but for me, it felt disrespectful, and I was hurt. The whole thing felt like a violation of trust, even though I know they weren't actually cheating. I told her I couldn't be in a relationship with someone who would do something like that, and I ended things right there. She's devastated, and our friends have been telling me I overreacted. They think it was just a harmless prank and I should have taken it better. But I can't shake the feeling that it crossed the line for me, especially with how intimate and uncomfortable it felt to see them in that situation, even if it wasn't real. Now I'm left wondering if I made the right decision. I'm starting to doubt myself because everyone else seems to think I blew it out of proportion. What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for canceling everyone's Christmas because my mom called the cops on my husband? Usually my husband, 30, and I, 27F, host Christmas Eve at our house. It's nothing big, just my divorced parents and my 3 teenage siblings. This year, we have a newborn and sad Thanksgiving out, but I felt comfortable doing Christmas. Until my mom called the cops on my husband a few weeks back. One of my sisters, 19, called me, crying, asking me to go pick up our younger sister, 17, because she had just got in a fight with my mom and my mom slapped her. Our newborn baby was sleeping and we wanted to get to 17 years old ASAP, so I stayed behind while my husband went to get both my sisters. My mom and my 17 years old sister were at the laundromat. Altercation happened at home. When my husband walked up to their car and told my sister let's go, my mom freaks out, causing a scene, starts yanking on the car door, telling him to let my sister out or she's calling the cops. At this point, my husband had locked the door and kept telling my mom he's not letting her out, she needs space and he's bringing her back to our place. My mom walks away, and I tell him to drive off, she can send the cops to my house if she wants. I was on the phone with him. She calls the cops and it backfires. The cops side with us and agree 17 years old should have been removed from the situation and should stay with me for a few days. This enraged my mom. For some odd reason she hates that my sisters and I are close. She has been telling them for years to keep secrets from me, to not tell me what happens in her house. They still do. She has called family meetings with my siblings just to say they need to stop running to me to vent. She says whatever happens in her house is none of my business. She treats me like I am some random outsider and not her literal daughter, and I'm tired of it. She tends to sweep everything under the rug. She will never talk about an issue and will just continue life like she didn't hurt anyone's feelings. She also has a tendency to pull the "well, sorry, I'm such a bad mom" card. Or she deflects and gaslights, a lot. After she called the cops on my husband, with the intention to get him in some sort of trouble, I am not letting her just sweep this under the rug and show up for Christmas like we are one big happy family. If she cannot come to us like an adult and apologize plus have a mature conversation, she is not welcomed in my home. So, Christmas Eve is canceled. I'm also not going to raise my daughter around people that make her parents feel like shit. I'm not allowing her to see the people that are supposed to love you can treat you however they want just because they are family. Now, backstory on my mother, I have never considered us to be close. She put me through a lot as a child, and my teen years living with her sucked. She has serious narcissistic behaviors and seriously needs therapy, but I don't even trust her to be honest with a therapist. She's the type to make everyone else the bad guy and make herself look good. There's years and years of incidents with her, but this year I've really had it. However, I put up with her because of my siblings. So anyways, am I the bad person for canceling everyone's Christmas? What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for cutting off my cousin after finding out she was the reason my ex broke up with me? So, here's the deal. I, F, 25, recently found out my cousin, L, 23, hooked up with my ex, J, 27, right before he broke up with me. I was absolutely devastated when we broke up. I had no idea why it was happening. Jay and I had been together for 3 years. We talked about the future, marriage, kids, all of it. It felt perfect. So when he broke up with me out of nowhere, I was completely blindsided. He told me he just wasn't feeling it anymore and needed some space, but I got no real explanation. He wouldn't tell me what I'd done wrong, or if it was even my fault. He just shut me out. I spent the next few months crying, trying to figure out what went wrong, racking my brain, feeling like a total failure. I asked him about it several times, but every time I reached out, I just got the same vague "I don't know what happened" responses. I mean, he was everything to me. I couldn't believe I lost him, and I couldn't move on, even when my friends kept telling me he probably had someone else. Well, last week, I finally found out the truth, and I'm honestly still in shock. A mutual friend of mine and L's told me that she and Jay had hooked up before he broke up with me. Apparently, they had been flirting for a while, and then one night, things just went too far. I was furious. This whole time, I'd been mourning the loss of my relationship, when the whole time, it was because my cousin was messing around with him. I was so angry at both of them, but mostly at L. She knew exactly how important Jay was to me. She was the one I'd gone to for advice when things were tough in the relationship. She'd always been there for me, telling me I deserved someone who'd treat me right, and then she goes behind my back like this? I confronted her about it, and she didn't deny it. She said, "It was before he broke up with you. I didn't think it would mess things up this much." But it didn't matter when it happened. It felt like a betrayal no matter how she spun it. Honestly, the worst part wasn't just her hooking up with him. It was that she kept it from me. She knew I was going through hell, and she said nothing. And that's where my friend comes in. I had a friend, T, 26, who knew about this whole situation, and she never told me. I talked to her about how crushed I was, about how I just needed some kind of closure, and she just listened and comforted me, but she never mentioned anything about L and J. I found out from someone else, and honestly, it broke me even more. To find out that she knew and just let me suffer? That's not a friend to me. I ended up cutting both L and T off. I know some people think I'm overreacting, but I feel like they both betrayed me in the worst ways. I don't care if L didn't mean to hurt me, she knew what she was doing, and the fact that she didn't tell me makes it even worse. And as for T, how could she stand by and watch me go through all that pain and say nothing? I've blocked both of them, and I haven't spoken to either of them since I found out. My family's a mess now. Some of them think I'm in the right, and some think I'm being too harsh. So, am I the bad person for cutting off my cousin and my friend after I found out what happened? I just feel so betrayed, and I'm wondering if maybe I overdid it, but I can't shake the feeling that I did what I had to do for myself. You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.